Welcome to the full demo of Remarkable Planner. During this demo, you will see what each tab does and all of the features that we have to offer here at Remarkable Planner. Starting off with the Dashboard tab, when you first sign up for an account, you will be asked to enter the partners' names, the wedding venue, and the wedding date. Those will all show up here on your dashboard once you choose your plan and log in. On the dashboard, you have the opportunity to change the photo. It comes automatically blank and you can add whichever photo you would like. Also, throughout the pages, you will see this banner at the top showing all of the days left until your big day. As you scroll down the dashboard, you will see several different quick links to different pages throughout the portal. For example, this one is showing the guests, tasks, vendors, and budget. If you click on them, it quickly takes you to those pages. For example, if you click here on guests, it quickly takes you to the guest list page, allowing you to modify guests as you need to. You can then quickly go back to the dashboard and continue on with other pages. It gives you an overall budget overview. And if you would like to work on the budget, you can click manage, or you can click up here where it takes you to the budget tab as well. It can also take you to seating chart, vision board, and calendar, just a few of the other features. It also shows the upcoming events that you have. So for this example wedding, we have a bridal shower coming up, a cake tasting, and it shows everything that you have selected to be on the calendar and the to-do list as your upcoming events. Down here, you have the opportunity to insert your wedding website and your wedding registry to have quick links to access both of those if you are working within the portal. Let's move on to the to-do list. When you get to the to-do list page, there are some suggested tasks up here under each category of wedding planning. You can choose a task from the list, or you can add your own task if you prefer. Down here at the to-dos, you will have 3 columns: the to-do, the in progress, and the completed. If something is in the to-do, you have it marked with a date, priority level, and the category that it falls under. As you move through your list, you can click on items and change them from status, to do, to in progress or completed. Once you do that and you save your changes, it will then move that out of the column into the new appropriate column. Another feature of the to-do list is being able to assign this to bridal party members. So for example, if I wanted certain members from the bridal party to attend the cake tasting, I would go down here and choose who I want it to be. So if the mother of the bride is coming, then I can click on her and save those changes. She then automatically gets a message via email as an alert that she was added to an event and assigned a task through the portal. If you would like to add an event from your to-do list to your calendar, you simply click this plus to the calendar and you will get a notification that has been added. Given that this is on October 22nd, when you go over to the calendar, it will then show your cake tasting on October 22nd. If you want to create your own, you just add a task, title it, give it a description. You can choose from any of these wedding categories here. And then you can choose a priority, due date, and status for your task. If you choose from one of these suggested tasks, it just gives you a couple of options and things to think about. So if you need to reserve tables and chairs, you click on that. It automatically shows up under to do. To edit it and add due dates or descriptions, you just click on the task, add in whatever you would like, select a due date, assign it to a person if you would like to, and then give it the status that it needs to be, and save your changes to add it to the list. These are the features for the to-do list, and that will lead us into the calendar. On your calendar, you will see any of the to-do list items that you have scheduled to join the calendar. You are not forced to add to-do list items to the calendar unless you would like to, but if you click that plus calendar button on an item, it will show up here. So for example, we clicked cake tasting and it is shown up here. It was clicked twice, so it is shown 2 times, but you can click and remove the item. Okay. Also for calendar, you can add an event that is not on the to-do list. So if you have something coming up that isn't necessarily a to-do, but you would like it to be on the calendar and you want to invite bridal party members, you can add it here. So you give it a title, date and time, location if necessary. Again, you can choose a wedding category, a description, and then you can pick multiple bridal members to assign it to or to invite to that event. Once you save the event, whoever was checked off to invite the bridal party will again get an email message saying that they have been invited to an event through your portal. They do not have to have a portal of their own to receive the message. They will receive it via their email, which is whatever you have put on the bridal party page as their contact information. On several of the pages, you have an opportunity to download to PDF. So if you need to share this calendar with anyone or you want a hard copy of it, you can download to PDF at any time, which allows you to print and share with others as well as with vendors. Moving on to budget, this is your full budget planning tool. So when you first open this page, you'll need to set a budget to be able to kind of provide this overview and all of the calculations. Once you set your budget, if you are still researching different vendors, you can have estimated costs of what you plan to pay for that type of vendor. And then as you book vendors, you will show the actual cost as well as what is remaining from your budget. Each vendor is categorized by color based on the type of vendor that they are. And then we have this upcoming payment section here to let you know if you have a payment coming due in the next 30 days. This shows all of your budget items that have been added so far, as well as this little graph of kind of what categories are taking up how much of your budget. When you need to add an expense, you just go up here and click add what the expense is. If it is an expense from a vendor that is already on your vendor list, you will have the option here to select which vendor it is for. And then it automatically populates it with what category you have put that vendor under. If you have actually paid this person already for a deposit or you know an actual amount, you can add those in. If you're still researching, you can add in an estimated amount. You can also add multiple due dates. If you have a deposit due and then 2 other payments, you can select multiple due dates here and they will show up accordingly on the upcoming payments. Then you just click add expense and it will add it to your list. A couple features up here are exporting again to PDF. You can download it and share it to whomever you need to share it with. Your other option is to share. This is automatically shared through the messaging of the portal to selected vendors, or you can type an email of anyone if they are not on your vendor list. So if I wanted to share my budget with the DJ for any reason, then I could do the subject and the message, and they will automatically get sent the PDF of the full budget planning. Moving on to vendors. As you book your vendors or as you start researching, you will have this page here to add all of the vendors into one place. So as you can see with our sample here, we have a videographer, a beauty team, a DJ, a photographer, and a caterer. And each of those you can add who your contact person is, as well as their phone number and their email. If you edit in here, you can see what their total cost is and what you've already paid so far. You can also toggle this button right here if you have signed their contract or not, and add any notes that you may need just to know for yourself. You have the option here to upload your signed contract or to send them an immediate message. If you want all of your contracts and all of your information to be located in one place, you just simply upload the contract here, and then you'll be able to see it once you come onto this page if you need to open it for any reason. This prevents you from having to go to your email or multiple portals. If your vendor has a separate portal for you to view the contract, everything can be uploaded right here and quickly accessed. If you need to send this list to anyone, for example, if you have a planner and they need all of your vendor information, you can again export it to PDF and go down here to messages and attach it as a message and send it to your planner. Moving on to comparing of the vendors. This is for when you are researching. several different vendors and trying to make a decision about which one is best for your wedding. This gives you the option to show 3 vendors in a row and show their cost, their contact information, and what features are included in their packages. Down here at the bottom, it allows you to rank them based on what you prefer, and then it also allows you to add that vendor to the wedding if you end up selecting them. For this example, Bayside Catering was already added because they've been selected. If you switch to different categories, you can add different vendors. And then if your vendor is not yet in the portal, you add the new vendor. Another quick and easy feature here is to upload vendor quotes. If you've received a written quote from that person and it's easier to look at that, then you can upload it here and it will auto fill out all of these details for you from that vendor. This is just a quick comparison tool that allows you to look side by side at all the costs and features of each category of vendors and then make your decisions from there. Once you decide if you're using this Compare Vendor app, then you can click on Add Vendor to Wedding, and they will automatically be added with all of their contact information to the vendors page. The vendors page is generally just used for vendors that have already been booked and will be part of the wedding. However, you are welcome to use it the best that works out for you. Moving down to the guests page. We know that many people create guest lists on their wedding website, and no one wants to create a guest list more than once. So to make it easy, if you are using a wedding website and your guests are RSVPing on that wedding website, you can quickly download your RSVPs from your wedding website and upload the guest list right here. It will automatically pull all the names, their RSVP answer, their email, all their contact information, and if you have meal selections or dietary restrictions, it will show that as well. So up here, any dietary restrictions can be added on this side. This also allows you to create table assignments. You can either assign them here, or when they are assigned on the seating chart page, it will automatically populate here with what table you have selected for them. Guests are also color coded by the meal that they choose for when you go to seating chart or floor plan. You have the option here to add different meals, change the colors, and choose what meal options have been provided to your guests. This bar here gives you a quick overview of how many total guests, how many have marked attending, how many have marked not coming, or how many have not yet responded. This list is also able to be shared with vendors by clicking this quick share button and either selecting an email or selecting a vendor to send it to. It can also be quickly exported to a PDF and shared with people that way instead. Your guest list is then populated into your seating chart page. When you begin your seating chart, every guest will be up here as an unseated guest. As you select them and put them at a table, they will be removed from this list, only showing the guests that are left. When you scroll down here, you can choose which people would like to be at which table. So table 1 is full. You filled all the way up to table 3, and it looks like you need to keep going here with table 4. So you select guest. You keep seating your guests that you know you want to be at that table until that table is full, or until that's all you want to be there. It is completely your choice. You do not have to fill the table if you do not want to. When you add a table, you select the type of capacity, how many people you want seated at the table, and if it will be round, rectangular, or square. The floor location also feeds into the floor plan page. At this point, I only have 26 unseated guests, and I could keep seating them if I wish. You can also share this seating chart again with vendors or with an email that is not associated with a vendor. It again is exportable to PDF. If you want to change a table, you can click the little edit button and change it to whatever name you would like. If you want to delete a table, you can also delete. And then if you want to change people around, So if you don't want these two people on table 1 anymore, you just simply X their name off. It frees up space at that table and we'll put them back up here under unseated guests. Moving down to floor plan, you can create as many floor plans as you need for this space that you are having your wedding. This one just shows an example of a ceremony, cocktail hour, and reception plan. And then again, these can be shared with vendors such as planners, venues, caterers, and anybody else who would need it. So when you add a plan, you can name it whatever you would like. So for this one, the reception already has a sample. So we will say this is reception 2. You can put in the exact room height and width if you know what it is. And then your meal selections are populated from your guest list page. So whatever meals you've added to the guest list page will show right here. And your guests will be seated by that color code. There's this quick little button here that populates your floor plan from your seating chart. So if I click this, it automatically pulls who was at what table from the seating chart and creates this floor plan down here for me. I want my guests to be at rectangular tables with 8 people at each table. It is now populated exactly what I had in the seating chart with each guest's initials and color-coded by their meal selection. It always puts the dance floor in the middle as an 8-foot by 8-foot square, but you can change that as you wish by just simply clicking on the shape, changing the size of it. You can also recolor it if you choose, or you can rotate it. Anything is editable in this floor plan. You can then move your seats around and where you want the tables to be by just simply shifting the seating and putting the tables wherever you prefer them to be. The sweetheart table is automatically populated with 2 seats from the bride and groom. And if you, depending on where you want to sit, if you can move it and you can rotate it so that you're facing your guests. And then you can also move all of the chairs. Since this is populated from the seating chart, it automatically puts the guests at the table that you've sat them at, but you're able to move the squares around however you choose. If you want 4 people on each side, then you can do that. Or if you want people on the ends, as far as rectangle tables, you can do that. You can change the size of any table by clicking on the table and changing the height and width of it. You can also recolor it if you choose. Again, guests are color-coded based on their meal selection. Continuing with your floor plan, you can add things like a buffet table. So if you want an L-shaped buffet and you don't want it over there, you can move it to wherever you would like to place it in your floor plan. You can add a simple 8-foot DJ table. You can also rotate that DJ if you know they're going to be kind of catty-cornered out to the dance floor. You can add your bar, whether you want a straight bar that's just 2 8-foot tables put together, or you want an L-shaped bar. You can choose your shape when you click on bar. There are other options here to add as well if you need to add any chairs for any reason or remove anything. You just click delete, and then you can also take it into full screen and make it a little bigger to see if you need to be able to see that better. Okay. And then when you're all finished with that, you can add any notes you need to add, descriptions, or upload an image if you need to. And then you simply click add plan and it will add it here to all of your floor plans. Cocktail hour plans, if you need to be able to show your caterer or your venue how tables will be arranged, then you can create a cocktail hour plan with simple cocktail tables and your bar and any seating that you will have during your cocktail hour. Same with the ceremony. If you want a ceremony floor plan to show where your bridal party will be standing during the ceremony, or if you want to specifically seat immediate family members in certain rows and certain seats, you can do that here by clicking on a seat, selecting which guests you want to sit there, and then you are seating your guests as well as your bridal party members up here in the front. This can also be shared, again, with vendors or anybody by email, and you can export any of the floor plans to a PDF to be shared as well. Moving down to the day of timeline, here it gives you options on the side as pre-made suggestions to add into your timeline of very common things that happen during wedding days. Here is a sample of one that has been started. You choose the time you want to start, how long you want it to be, minutes or hours, and the event is drug over from the bottom. If you want an event that is not on the list, you can either click custom event or you can click up here to add event. You can select a location of where that event will take place, and you can also assign it to a vendor. So for example, the hair and makeup was assigned to the beauty team as a vendor. First look and private vows has been assigned to the videographer and the photographer. You can continue adding as you put things in. So if you did private vows and then you're going to go into your ceremony following that, or your guests are going to start to arrive, you just drag it over, put it underneath, and make your selections. So if guests are going to start arriving at 3:30 and you're going to give them about 30 minutes to get seated for a 4 o'clock ceremony, you would say that it's going to happen on the outside lawn, and that doesn't necessarily need a vendor assigned to it, but it can be if you want. Once you've put your day of timeline together, you can download this as a PDF as well to send to vendors, or you can share directly to vendors that have been added to your vendor list. If there is an event you would like to add to the day of timeline that is not on here, you just simply click add event, title it whatever you would like to title it, give it a location, select a vendor if applicable, and then select the start time and how long you want it to last. You can also add notes if you would like. Moving down to bridal party, this is where you add all of your bridal party members, as well as family members or anyone else that is important and you want to be part of your portal, where you can assign them tasks, invite them to calendar events, or send them messages and share things with them. To add a member, you just pick their name, select what role they have, and what side they are on, if applicable, their contact information, responsibilities if you would like to add it, and the notes if you, again, need to have any notes. So this one shows bridesmaids, and then it shows the groom side, again with contact information, responsibilities if you put it, and anything else that you would like to add in. Moving down to the vision board. This is a direct import from Pinterest if you have created a Pinterest board. You can import your photos directly from the Pinterest board that you have linked here. And this can be shared with your vendors as well. So if you're looking to share with a designer or a florist what your ideas are, you can share this portal with them and they will be able to access this. If you do not have a Pinterest board or you want to add an idea that's not on your Pinterest board, you click add inspiration, get whatever title you would like, choose a category that it falls under, upload the image that is your inspiration or provide the link, and then just add the inspiration and it will be added here to your page. The next page down is your shopping list. For example, if you are buying your own decor, you can create your list here of everything you will need. You can choose prices, when you need it by, what it's going to be used for, and then you can set a status. As you do things and order and receive, you can change your status from still needed to ordered or received, and easily track what you still need to purchase or what has not yet been delivered. This can again be downloaded to PDF if needed to share with someone. Here in the messages, you can link your Gmail account to this portal if you choose to do so. And by doing that, you'll be allowed to send and receive messages directly to your vendors or bridal party members from the portal. You just simply click a message. You can also send messages to guests if you need to, if you have put in an email for them. You can send a message to multiple vendors if you need to. For example, if you're sending out your day of timeline and you want to select all of your vendors, put a subject, create a message, and then here you can attach the file that is your day of timeline. When you're finished, you click send and it goes directly to their emails as a message from you and your portal. Next is notes. This is for any note that you want to take at any time. You just add a note, and it gives you a sticky note, and you can write whatever you need to and color code them as you choose. For example, if you have a consultation with a new vendor and you want to take quick notes as they're sharing their features with you, you can create a quick note and just quickly type in their information as you're listening to their consultation, and then use it later to compare vendors or to share with others. If you want to edit, you can edit that at any time. You can also share the note directly with a collaborator, which I will show you on the settings page who you have chosen as collaborators. Currently, this profile has no collaborators, which is why it's not showing. But if you add people, you can share with them. That takes us to settings. Automatically, you will see that you have which subscription you have chosen, and it gives you the option to switch or cancel at any time. Here you have your names, your wedding date, and your venue. That can also be edited at any time if needed. Total budget. You can create a theme if you would like, or a color palette. You can change the appearance of the portal. This one's set at teal, but I can change it to pink or any other color that I choose. And you can also pick your banner photo for your dashboard. If you'd like to change your banner photo, you can go to the dashboard and change it there. For the banner, you can choose the type of font that you would like and the color, as well as what you want your venue and date font to be, and it shows you a preview down here. You can add your Pinterest board and wedding website links here as well. And then, for example, here are the collaborators. So if you invite someone to collaborate on your board, you can select if you want them to be a user and be able to change things, or if you want them to be view only. Then you click the plus invite, and then they are a collaborator and they will have access to your portal. Now, they are currently given access to the entire portal until you change privacy settings for certain pages. For example, if you add your wedding planner here as a collaborator so they can see these different items, but you don't want them to see your budget, then you would click budget over to private, and then your wedding planner would be able to see all of your pages except your budget. There are some policies and terms down here, and then a save button. So whatever you change, make sure you come down and save your details. That is the full tutorial and demo of how to use Remarkable Planner and how everything is in one place. I will now switch over and show you a couple of features specifically for wedding planners. If you are a wedding planner or planning multiple events at a time, this is what your portal will look like, which is extremely similar with a few extra features added. So under this My Weddings, for example, this is the starter plan. So you are allowed up to 5 weddings at a time, and they will show right here as you add them. When you add a new wedding, you put in all of the information and you can color code them, and those color codes will show up on calendar events so you know quickly which event is for which wedding. When you open the wedding, you automatically switch here to your active wedding. So this is telling me that I'm currently working on the Smith wedding, and I have all of the exact same features as the portal that we just went through, except for you can add multiple weddings. So if I switch over to the Parker wedding, then I can add, for example, to-do list items on here. And then if I switch back to the Smith wedding, there are no to-do lists. Each wedding has their own portal for you to work in, and you can go to your overall My Weddings right here. You will have your own overall calendar. So while there is a to-do list and a calendar inside of each wedding, whatever items you want from a specific wedding to be added to your calendar specifically, you will have that option to add them. So for example, if I switch back to the Parker wedding and I have a venue tour with those clients, then you can assign it and then you can add it to calendar if you give it a due date. And then it is added to the calendar for the wedding and to your calendar under My Calendar. If you don't want it on the My Calendar, you can always delete it if you so choose, but it is